The men of the Malian armed forces came under heavy attack in Tabrishat. This is located in the Buraim Saku in the Kidal region. Ladies and gentlemen, in the early hours of July 18, men of the Malian armed forces who were en route to Anefis for supply mission, they were going on their convoy, and their convoy got ambushed by men of the FLA and the JNI. The attack was really watch this video. According to the provisional toll, 9 personnel of the Malian armed forces were KIA'd in combat, and according to further reports, 12 of the Malian personnel were captured. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very disheartening, and this needs urgent answer. But let's get into the details of this attack. After the attack took place, the son of Iyadagali, known as Hamza, was reported to have been on the site of contact, and according to information, he led this ambush operation.
الله اكبر انت اكبر الله اكبر القائد انت دار ويستنى ما الدار انت تمر تصير
Now, there was a communique from the Azawad Liberation Front to back up this ambush, and also the Malian armed forces, after the attack happened, they released a communique informing the opinion of the general public about this ambush, and they reported that a quick response measure was already in place. And after a couple hours, the Malian armed forces came back with a communique reporting several enemy KIA in a sort of retaliatory attack, and also the Malian armed forces reported that there have been extensive surveillance operations that have been launched to ensure that men of the FLA and JNI did not escape the wrath of the Malian armed forces. And part of the footage that was provided by men of the Russian African Corps, based on report on the counter-offensive, was provided on the African Corps website, and permit me to provide you with some of this information. Let's watch this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, a couple days back, we provided a report of another ambush by the JNIM and FLA on a farmer convoy that was going to Anefis. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is another ambush. Different route, different condition. We can call the first attack an ambush, we can call it a coincidence, but the second attack, even with more devastating results, even though the Malians were able to come out on top at the end of the day, if you look at the way the FLA flooded the internet with this particular video, so recently the FLA got defeated in the Battle of Anefis, and I think the pain and the shame still lingers. So these are the ways that the FLA are trying to make sure that they retaliate on the Malian forces. The JNIM and FLA attack initially earlier this week, we can call it a coincidence or an ambush. The second time, we even given the type of escalation we are seeing, we can definitely call this a pattern. And given the fact that this is a pattern, so here I come with my own suspicion, right? It is just my opinion. I think there is a mole in the camp of the Malian armed forces. This is how I see it, because the fact that the FLA and JNIM always have a precise information about the movement of the Malian forces, even before they get to the point of contact, the enemies always had an information, probably about the number of personnel, probably about the type of capability they will be moving with, and the timing. They are always up to the task, and given the fact that the weather in this region, sometimes it could rain, sometimes it would not. The last time they were ambushed, it was raining heavy and the terrain was murky. You don't expect people to be out in the rain, right? But the Malian forces were coming and people were ready. It means that there was an information, and I don't think it is because some FLA surveillance personnel spotted them. I think there are some people giving information directly to the FLA within the ranks of the farmer, or probably their allied forces of the MSA or the Gatia militia in that very garrison, or probably something closer to that is definitely going on. And I think it is time for them to look back into their ranks and really find the mole within the camp. It's just my suggestion. And secondly, I think they need to re-strategize and change their mission planning, because if there is a mole, somebody that definitely see you going out, it's not just the moment that the forces are going out that they're going to inform. They definitely know the roster. They know, okay, they're pulling out tomorrow, because when you going out, you don't start loading the truck immediately. The trucks probably must have been loaded overnight, and they already have a schedule that they will be moving tomorrow, and somebody just informs them to prepare that they are coming, and this is the number of personnel they'll be coming with. So you definitely know that most of these attacks, the enemies are more prepared. They always have their gun trucks to suppress enemy fire. They always have a lot of personnel. They use the cavalry outflanking maneuver to overwhelm the Malian forces. And this time around, one of the reports was that the Malian armed forces ran out of ammunition. They initially repelled the attack from the ground. They ran out of the ammunition. They took out some FLA fighters, which were not shown in the video. That was why the FLA, when they overwhelmed the Malian armed forces as a result of the depletion in the ammunition, they brutally did what they did, and they posted it on the social media. But we are not going to be providing it on this channel. So after this, I think this is even more need that the Malian armed forces really need a volunteer defense personnel. I mean, the VDP, like you have in Burkina Faso. A lot of people have been asking me that when I talk about the VDP, what do I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, these are the VDP in just a single environment, a village in Burkina Faso. They are on patrol. So these personnel that you're looking at that are patrolling, they are trained in Burkina Faso. They are Burkinabe citizens who have volunteered to defend their homeland. So just the way you have the Gatia, you have the MSA, so you have some of those volunteers, in Burkina Faso who are really helping the main rapid intervention brigade personnel, and together with other tactical squad in Burkina Faso to defend the nation. And we can see that there is a much improved security situation in Burkina Faso. But I think, in my opinion, that the Malian forces are overstretched, and when you are overstretched, then probably sometimes you get backstabbed. I think things like this can happen. Now, at the end of the day, I think the FLA knows that this is time for them to decide. Either they want to lose Kidal or they are not going to lose Kidal. This is, to me, a sort of a physical warfare and also mental warfare. This is how I see it, right? After the defeat of the FLA and the JNIM in Anefis, they know that the momentum is already shifting to the side of the Malian forces. Now, given the fact that the momentum is shifting to the side of the Malian forces, and the Malian forces have recently been launching Geran 2 drones to the rear flank of the FLA in Thessaly to Tandalahak to Kidal region. It has been non-stop offensive from the Malians with long-range strikes. So the FLA is looking at it like, if we don't do something, which is you either stay on your Tessalite base, you stay on the defense, and the Malians just continue to hunt you. So I think the strategy is to go on the offensive, because if they stay on the defensive, they get hit. Why not go on the offensive where you might have a chance to either defeat or see a draw with the Malian forces, or even lose? Either way, you get to fight. So I think this is a strategy of the FLA. But for me, I think the Malians need to stop staying on the defense and they need to go all out on the offensive. I think a supply mission is not an offensive mission. My recommendation is the Malian needs to be on the offensive. When I mean offensive, you really need to be on the offensive. You know what I mean? The manuscript of combat, you definitely gonna take casualty, but you need to be on the offensive, because that is the only way you can guarantee the security of the territory. You take territory and you try to consolidate on the position for too long, you try to play defensive, the FLA is gonna ambush. You're gonna give them the initiative to ambush, and that's why we're at the situation. So again, I think this is just another situation that marks a symbolic escalation in the situation on the ground, but it's not close to being a deterioration in the security situation. Kindly give us your opinion on what you think. It's your boy Olubumi signing out in Sahel. But before I go, thank you for watching and God bless you.